best Louisiana Saints, the New Orleans camp, with another pre-camp lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to
Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word of truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Shalom. We're pretty much just going to get into with this pre-camp how Jake, 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are still being rebellious under Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and rebellious unto the many sent, the prophets. Because you've got all these different calamities taking place. Of course, you just had that winter storm that took place. You had grocery store aisles getting cleared. You had so-called fake snow out here. People in Texas, Jake's in Texas, pouring water into cups from the sink, and it had parasites in it. All manners of madness. But what do you see Jake doing? Still committing folly, still not calling on Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and still looking to Esau, FEMA, for help. Well, hey, that's all going to be to your detriment at the end of the day. And that day is quickly coming, that day of Jacob's trouble, when it's going to be nothing but lamentations, warnings, and woe.
I just wanted to say, you got niggas like Bun B asking for the state of Texas to look out for them and shit, man. Like, you looking for a state that's ran by a government that's always been against you, G. But you ain't looking to the prophets or the men of the Lord, Yahweh, man. You know? You're looking for some racist ass state, talking about something we should have turned it blue. You know, like it just don't make no sense, Jay.
Hey, you had one Texas politician pretty much say to the people, hey, sink or swim. Pretty much say, hey, you're on your own. You're gonna have to get through it how you're gonna get through it. And you Jakes are gonna learn that that's the sentiment that Esau and other people actually, once all hell breaks loose, when they push that max that much more harder, and especially when they push that chip, when you got soldiers kicking in doors, dragging people off, throwing them into concentration camps, men, women, and children getting gunned down in the streets, etc., etc.
This is Isaiah 30, verse 9. Starting at verse 9. It says, this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits.
Hey, again, with all these different calamities taking place, you would have thought that you would have seen the blocks where the brothers preach filled up with people, notepads, Bibles, and everything, getting notes. But no, you still got Jakes until this day, even after the lockdowns have lifted a little bit, still coming by, scoffing and talking shit. Dollar. We need to open up soup kitchens. We need to open up banks and schools and buy plots of land. That's all futile. Have you not seen in the past what Esau has done to Black Wall Street, Rosewood, and a myriad of other movements and communities Jake tried to build up? He destroyed it and burned it to the ground. But especially on this time, this last little go around, it's going to be worse than any other time that Jake's ever gone through. 70 AD, the transatlantic slave trade, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, Civil Rights era, the war on drugs, you name it. It's going to be Jake's getting killed off in mass numbers, left and right. It's going to be indiscriminate, men, women, and children.
It says, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us.
So who do they want to continue before? Who are they going to help? With Daddy the Devil, Esau. Hey, FEMA, where's the money? Hey, Uncle Joe, where's that stimulus check? Hey, we got a so-called black woman, which we think is a tear, as the vice president. Hey, we're really making it. Let's bring Obama back. We looked at everybody else but your power, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And as we're about to get into at the top of the chapter Isaiah 30, that's going to be to your detriment.
This Lamentation chapter 5 verse 6, it says, we have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread.
Hey, give those spiritual Egyptians, these Edomites, we've given the hand to them to be fed with bread and water. Enemies, hey, to get by and to go along to get along. But hey, that's going to be, again, to your detriment, because these very same people you're looking to for your help is going to be the ones that are going to be taking help from you, taking your lives from you. Actually, in that Lamentations, jump to read verse 4, verse 2 and 17. Unless you have something.
This Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. It says, as for us, our eyes are yet failed for our vain help.
A vain help, nothing, vanity, a joke help, empty. Because what does it say in Lamentations 5, that we went to the Egyptians, our enemies, for help, for bread and water and sustenance.
The hand goes into power. So we are going to our enemies for the power of our lives, man. Yeah. It says, as for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. And our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
And what does it say in Deuteronomy 28? I shall bring you to Egypt again with ships. And no man shall redeem you.
Right.
No man shall buy you. Which when you go into that, it means no man shall redeem you. No physical man will be able to help you. Esau can't help you. Marcus Garvey couldn't help you. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, etc., etc. And what's beautiful about that is it says you shall go back to Egypt in ships. And that's talking about that spiritual Egypt, that same spiritual Egypt in Lamentations chapter 5. These Edomites, that modern day cruel Pharaoh, who's doing the exact same thing that these ancient Egyptians did to Semitic Egyptians, coming up with plans to kill off all the males of Israel, putting heavier burdens on you, just oppressing you. And here we are, coming in the spiritual stead of Moses and Aaron, trying to wake you up and get you out of your folly. But you're rebellious children that say to the sea to see not, and to say, move the Holy One of Israel out of our way and cause him to cease from before us.
Yeah, because you always have Jake stating they trying to kill us, but they don't never give you any type of solution on how to deal with the issue. Like you seen in the video the brother posted in the WhatsApp about them having little parasites in the water, man. You know, and Jake talking about it, and they frantic about it, but what are you doing? You know?
Jack and Chip, read verse 2.
This Lamentation chapter 4, verse 18. They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come.
As it said, they hunt our steps. And what does it say in Sirach chapter 12? When adversity come upon thee, ye shall find him there first. Hey, it's him hunting you in the sense with these cops constantly patrolling your neighborhoods, cops pulling you over for any little thing and putting you to death, and also these elites with their agendas hunting your steps. Because who's the face of the whole C-19 and Max agenda? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You're ultimately going to be the face of that microchip implant, the mark of the beast.
It says, our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They lay wait for us in the wilderness.
Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of heaven. And they're swift, and they're about to come down in that great wrath like a bat out of hell, like an eagle out of hell. As it says in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Woe to them that dwell on the earth and the sea, talking about 2/3 of the nation of Israel who continue to refuse to hearken unto their power.
This Isaiah 5 and starting at 20. It says, "Woe unto them that call good, that call evil good and good evil."
And what evil do they call good? This American way of life. Hey, trying to go along to get along in this society, looking to your enemies for vain help, believing in democracy, the LGBTQ agenda, feminism, this whole matriarchal mindset, getting that bag, being a D-boy, being a thought, a whore, a piece of shit, living that American nightmare.
It says,
but they call good evil. And what's the main thing that's evil to Jake, that vexes Jake beyond any other thing? This truth. The only thing that can help him and give him salvation, and the only thing that allows them to have any type of hope to get out of this situation.
It's so funny that Jacob said a word wrong and you'll correct him on it. And yeah, look at you as the problem, man. Like, that's what's wrong with Jake. You can't correct him on no matter, man. You know? So how can you help them people? How can you help somebody that don't want help?
You can't. Hey, We're simply doing what we're doing, standing upon our watch as watchmen, getting the blood off of our hands. Now, whether you take heed or forbear, hey, that's on you.
It said that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Pretty much everything evil and pushed up in the society, which is all to your detriment. Jake, this entire society was set up for a reason to take you as far away from the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai as they possibly could. Because these heathens, chiefly these Edomites and the elites, know that. It even says it in the book of Judah, the Apocrypha, that if these people be taken away from their power, then we can handle it any which way they want, which is what they're doing right now. But when they call upon their power, then we shall be a reproach and a shame before all the nations. Hey, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the elect from all 12 tribes wake up and call back upon their power. And you're seeing how that, because our apostle elders came onto YouTube about 12, 13 years ago, beginning in 2007, preaching this word. And what have you seen? This whole world being turned upside down. These end times prophecies beginning to come in their fulfillment. More chariot sightings, and ultimately Yahweh Shai returning to take away the keys of the kingdom from the Edomites and the heathens and give it back to Israel. Over that small amount of time, look at how much has happened. And look at over those couple of hundred years Jake has been in America doing all these different movements. What has happened? Jake has only waxed worse and worse and become just a really no people who truly are black people.
They have pointed.
And they wear it as a badge of, they wear their badge of dishonor as a crown of honor.
That's what the scripture says, Sirach. For thy friend is too far gone, for he's too far gone, like for us in the world, like they too far now. So our only itinerary is to serve the Lord, that we don't slip into the world and be as far as them. You know, like, hey, our family is the whole family of Israel, all right? But our true family is those that serve the Lord, man. So they too far gone. You get that as a rock.
Got a little bit right here, Isaiah 5. This Isaiah 5, and I'm gonna go to 22. It says, "Warn to them that are mighty to drink wine, and men of strength to mingle strong drink."
And what do we know that wine and that strong drink is? These different philosophies out here that Esau Edom pushes heavily on you Jakes. Again, democracy, the LGBTQ agenda, feminism, the list goes on and on. That American dream, you're Hamitic, you're Kemetic, you're Egyptian, you're African American, you're Baptist, Buddhist, Muslim, even some of you are atheists. The list goes on and on to further take you away from your power. And while these different philosophies have made these other nations drunk and angry, which is why they're getting ready to go against America, what do you Jakes continue to do? You go back to the bar and ask for seconds. You get drunk like a fucking monkey out there and pass out on it.
It says, "Would justify the wicked for reward."
Hey, going to that bar, hey, sir, may I please have another? Hey, keep the tab open.
Yeah.
Keep the tab open until the cops come and bring me out of the bar.
It's a popular thing to be what Esau wanted you to be. You know, Jakes, some black guys or some Jakes, they become homosexual just so they can get better benefits in this thing, you know?
And they see the woman getting uplifted so much, so they want to become a damn weenie tucker too. In some instances, get the whole thing taken away.
It says, "And take away the righteousness of the righteous from you."
Trying to take away this truth from me, trying to dissuade us from believing in this truth. And if they could, like they did to our forefathers in the past, lay hands on us and put us to death. Well, that's not going to be the case this time. This time, y'all are going to be the ones that are going to get caught up in the traps that you set. And best believe that these traps, hey, they ain't escaping any of these traps.
All right, this is Rock 27 and 18. It says, "For as a man had destroyed his enemy, so as thou lost the love of thy neighbor. As one that letteth a bird go out of his hand, so hast thou let thy neighbor go and shall not get him again. Follow after him no more, for he is too far off. He is as a rope escape out of the snare."
Hey, pretty much. Hey, it's getting to that point to where, as it says, in that day our tongues will cling to the roofs of our mouth. Hey, once these rivers of living waters are turned off and it's go time, hey, you're not going to find the men of the Lord. And even if you do find us, we're not going to want to help you. We did everything we were supposed to do on this side. And pretty much, we've written you off.
I ain't never saw nothing like that in our life. That thing ain't never stopped right now.
Hey, that's God. Hey, we've written you off spiritually. So hey, you wanna be like your daddy, the devil, then so be it. You wanna go to those people, look for a nation, look at vain help for a nation that could not save you, then so be it. You wanna go down to spiritual Egypt for help, then so be it. But as it says back in Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1, you're gonna see what the fruits of the rotten fruits of your labors are gonna be.
Right. This is Isaiah 30 and 1. It says, woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Hey, waxing worse and worse. And as it says, I believe in Ezekiel, hey, Jake's deeds have exceeded those of the wicked. Jake has become the standard of wickedness on this side, to the point where these other heathen nations go to Jake to see how to live wickedly and be just the most degenerate dirtbag out here.
Jake got the law.
Yeah.
That's why they the wicked. The wicked is the wicked. They don't have the law. They don't know. They don't have instructions, guidance. They don't have dignity, integrity. The Lord ain't give none of them that. So by Jake having the law, but by Jake having the law, he's ashamed to the people. Like, we supposed to be in Deuteronomy, we supposed to be the example to the people of the earth, all right? That carry the what? The law, statutes, commandments of the Lord. We the counter of our fault on earth, man. You got it.
But hey, what do they do now? They wag their heads and walk past us, and we're byword to them. Where they mock us and say, hey, is this the perfection of beauty? Is this what men call the pretty much the perfection of beauty? Yeah, they're just a byword now. But again, Jake left to have it so. Esau allows you, Jakes, to wallow in your heart's desire of wickedness on this side.
They're like, is this the whole kingdom? Can't be. You know, we're not even considered. They calling some dumb rats over that place in Israel the Lord's people. Our people even believe that they the Lord's people. You know? So we all know. It says Isaiah 30 and 2. It says that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Hey, we're gonna build America back by voting in Uncle Joe and Kamala Harris. Hey, Trump was just a little fluff, and now we got somebody who's on our side who's gonna give us stimulus checks and build back up our community. Look, he was Obama's VP, so he can't be bad. But as you're gonna see, that's gonna be unto your shame and your detriment, because with the way Sleepy Joe's moving, it's looking like he's really about to drop that hammer on Jake's. And that dark winter he's been talking about, pushing even further President Trump's Donald Trump's Operation Warp Speed to get troops posted all around the country, new domestic terrorism bills getting passed, the list goes on and on.
It says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
Shame and your confusion, because this nation you look to for vain help is going to be that very same nation that, just like they've shown all throughout history, are going to come down like a great devil upon you and kill you off in a myriad of horrific ways. Ways never before seen, since it's going to be the time of Jacob's trouble. Ultimately, it's all through the rooting of Hashem Yahushai for not hearkening unto him or his prophets.
Yeah. This is Sirach chapter 4, verse 20. Observe the opportunity and beware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul. For there is a shame that bringeth sin, and there is a shame which is glory and grace. What's the shame upon our other people? That shame is shamelessness, man. All right? The shame that bringeth glory is to be shamefaced, to return it to your father, man. All right? And do what is asked, not asked, what is commanded of you, man. Because one thing about the wicked, they live in evil. They don't want to do what's commanded of them. They want to do what they want to do. They want to live as they will. Like, you know, they father the devil. See? That's our people, man. You know, they just want to live as they will. You know, bald heads. You know, men loving men, effeminate, adulterous. Right? This is the hand that Jake want to deal with, man.
They love it.
Yeah, they love it. They love to have it so.
That has become our quote unquote culture, man.
Yeah.
You know, to be that way. You know?
Speak against the truth too. That's right. In the era of their lives. Because when you speak against the truth, you automatically dead. We speaking for the truth and praying we make it. So if you're speaking against it, you are dead. There's no hope for you, man. All right, they're not freshening hope at all. Like their hope is evil, man. That's what they're looking for. That's why they like, man, when I die. They don't even know it's a possibility you could be beaten up. Man, when I die, so just tell my bury me in a casket with an AK. Are you serious? It's neither here nor there, bro. But Jake don't consider, man. They don't consider the ways of the Lord. They only consider the ways of their own selves, man. And the power of their self.
They live for wickedness until they die.
That's it. Yeah. Until they die. All of them say when I die, but that's what the wicked say. Wisdom of Solomon 2. The wicked reason within themselves wrongly, man. All right, with life. Concerning life and death, man. The wicked do that. But there are they father the devil, going back to Job.
As the righteous, we seek to live forever.
Well, yeah, immortality, man.
Hey, with all that, hey, the Most High's about to give you, Jakes, exactly what you want.
Yep.
This Isaiah 28:14. It says, wherefore hear the word of the Lord, ye scornful men, that rule this people which is in Jerusalem, because ye have said we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement.
Hey, that's everything away from the law, statutes, and commandments. Being in the congregation of the dead, not the congregation of life. Again, going down to Egypt for help and looking unto the stay of Pharaoh to help you, though it's ultimately going to be your shame. Yeah.
Real quick, to back up the brother. This first Maccabees 1:11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow, so this device pleased them well.
Hey, and those same spirits are back here today doing the exact same thing, going down to the heathens, going down to the Grecians, going down to the Romans, going down to the spiritual Egyptians for help, trying to cleave unto the society and make it. And they think that that's going to be their help. And what did it say at the end? Because ever since we left them, we have seen sorrows. They think that Jake thinks that just because he's going bad, because he went off in the first place, that if he goes into the heathens, he'll find help. But really, you should go back into your power to find that ultimate help. Okay, you're not going to learn until death by pain, as it says in 2 Ezra chapter 9.
But it's crazy because Jake's still one of the most diseases, still one of the most bodily afflictions. You know, still dealing with all these different issues, but you think that this man is helping you when you've been getting fucked over from the time you step foot in America, huh? It says Isaiah 28:15. It says, because ye have said we have made a covenant with death, and with death we are at agreement. The overflowing scourges shall pass through. It shall not come unto us.
Hey, some of you Jakes think that just because you made a covenant or agreements with these Edomites, especially you celebrities, and some of the heads of these other camps that have taken bags and that are doing everything that Esau Edom tells them to do, that this scourge, this great flood that's about to come in is going to pass over them. No, you're going to be one of the first ones to get caught up and swept away in it.
It says, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood we have hid ourselves.
And things that sound sweet, prophesying to us sweet things and smooth things and not hard things. Hey, we can mix and match things here with the scriptures to kind of make it more like more acceptable to this society, or just Jake's going away from or Jake's just going away from their power to try to again go along and get along with this society, following after everything in this society, which you have no more cloak for your maliciousness, and there's no more cloak for these lies, because you got the men of the Lord out there on the highways and byways, as well as putting up video epistles, completely taking away the covering cast that this devil Esau has put over the people, but still you refuse to hearken under those words and go and continue with that covenant of death and hell. Keep going.
It says, therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste.
That precious stone, that chief cornerstone is of course speaking of Yahushua, who sent that comforter unto his elect. And so we're comforted by it. Hey, we're prisoners of hope. That's why we're diligently out here on the highways and byways preaching this word. And then the other members of the elect doing whatever they can to stay in the good graces of their power. They're not making haste. They're not making haste to go to evil, to go back into this world and live wickedly.
It said, judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet. And the hell shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the water shall overflow the hiding place.
And these spiritual waters are overflowing the hiding places. They're spraying they're putting a spiritual light on every corner of Esau Edom's wickedness. So that's why you're seeing these elites make moves to demonize the truth, demonize the men of the Lord, and come down with that hammer with this new world order, pushing the max and ultimately pushing that guard. But hey, we're not going to make haste because we're staying under our refuge, under our cornerstone, and know that if we endure until that end, no matter what our lot may be, hey, we're going to see salvation at the end of the day.
This fire right here. It says, and your covenant with death shall be disannulled.
Hey, disannulled meaning, hey, it's going to be revoked.
That's right.
That paper that you signed on the dotted line with your blood in, it's going to get ripped up right before your eyes.
It says, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by.
And that overflowing scourge, that great flood shall pass through, and ye shall be trodden down by it. And an example of somebody who made a covenant with death and hell, who's going to get thrown away in this overflowing scourge. It's
Ridiculous.
it's a bed winch that's a man. Just complete madness. Like, reread that last part again.
Then the bitch built like Gumby at that. I remember Gumby. That's a nigga.
This Isaiah 28 and 18. It says, and your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by.
And that overflowing scourge is going to come exactly by the nation that you look for vain help, of those spiritual Egyptians.
And you know,
You got something?
contrary to how certain camps feel, Jacob trouble gonna happen, man. Whether you like it or not, you know.
And the Lord gonna deal it, like we said. Even if we cleave to those other nations, the Lord gonna deal with His nation.
That's right.
First.
Okay.
So I'm gonna deal with mine. I'm gonna get my sanctuary, then I'm gonna get everybody else, man. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 12. It says, and this shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their leads.
Settled on their knees, sitting around with a thumb up their ass, not taking heed to the times. Settled on their knees. Hey, not thinking the end's gonna come. And if you see things are getting bad, you're not hearkening under Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. You're trying to come in another way to find salvation.
That say in their heart, Yahweh will not do good, neither will He do evil.
And He's not gonna do good. He's not gonna do evil. He's not gonna do anything.
Judgment. Yeah. That means the Lord not gonna pass judgment when He a God of judgment. Everything you see all day on the TV and articles and news. In real life, we're eyewitnesses to judgment in the earth.
Right.
Under the heavens is where judgment happens. That's the place of judgment. Go in Ecclesiastes. So everything is a curtain of judgment from the Lord, no matter what it be. Whether it be small, great, large, old, the old to the young, to the maidens, it don't matter. It's all judgment.
Hey, if I could just to back up what it said when they said Yahweh will neither do good nor do evil.
Yeah.
This is also what they say in Isaiah chapter 5 verse 19.
That's it.
I'm gonna start at 18. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity,
That's right.
and sin as it were with the cart rope. Hey, they carry around their
Carry
burdens with
around
them.
it.
Hey, this is our
Dragging
wares
it.
and our treasures with us, but it's
That's
all
right.
vanity and sin.
Huh.
Hey, it's all like putting your money in a bag with holes in it. You're gonna lose it if
Like putting your PlayStation in the grave with you, in the casket with you.
Can't do nothing.
What are you doing? Go ahead, man.
verse
Hey,
19.
put the PlayStation in the casket, man.
That say, let him make speed and hasten his work, that we may see it. Hey, I'll believe it when I see it. Hey, let the Most High do something for me. And let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come, that we may know it.
Zephaniah 1:14. The great day of Yahweh is near. It is near and hasted greatly. But they asking for it. Well,
Hey.
here it go. Right?
And what's 2021? The hastening,
The hastening.
coming of the Lord.
It says, even the voice of the day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. What's the voice? That's the trumpets being blown, man. That's the prophets, man. So you ain't gonna be able to get around it. The Lord is a just God. He gonna tell you what he about to do before he gonna do it. It don't get no more just than that. All right, now if you clueless, good luck, buddy.
Hey, and then once the trumpet's been blown, what's happening then? Then the word's gonna leap off
Then
his
it's gonna
throne to come down.
Yeah, the sixth trump. You know what? It's time for the troubles to come in, man.
Come.
All right? The voice not going to be out here forever, man. And the voice is the men of the Lord. He that heareth you, heareth me. You think the Lord in America? Hey, you, Joshua. Hey, I'm coming back. No, man. This the voice of the Lord. Contrary to popular belief, if they won't believe it or not, man. It don't matter how men look, man. We just were talking about
And
that
what-
this spirit.
And what Yahweh Shai say? And this wicked generation seeketh for a sign, but the only sign they're going to receive is the sign of Jonah. And what was Jonah? He was a prophet prophesying,
Yeah.
prophesying of the things to come. And you're either going to take heed or forbear to it, but the judgment was going to come regardless.
Yeah, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness.
Ain't nothing good coming. Nothing
Yeah.
but lamentations, mournings, woes, death, destruction, murder, rape, robbery, any horrific thing you can imagine. Hey, the Most High's gonna do it 144% in that day.
Yeah, magnified. A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers.
Against everybody.
Against
the
everybody.
mountains, against the lowliest nations to
Yeah.
the highest nations, but
Yeah.
chiefly beginning with his people. That's why it's called Jacob's trouble for a reason.
Yeah. It says, and I will bring distress upon men, and they shall walk like blind men because they have sinned against Yahweh.
They should walk like blind men, walking in confusion, not knowing what's coming next, just stumbling around in the
Bro.
days, just waiting for that judgment to finally take them out.
Bro. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung.
Hey, and
Yeah.
And dust is bountiful, like sand. Their blood is gonna get poured out like dust. What does it say? The blood shall be as high as the horse's bridle. Hey, and also with that dung, as it says in Jeremiah 25, the slain of the Lord shall be from one end of the earth even unto the other, and they shall be as dung or useless pieces of shit on the ground, which is fitting for you people, because you people live like pieces of shit that need to get flushed down the toilet.
Are you right?
So with that, we hope you are sincere, Aki, and were edified by this pre-camp lesson. And again, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and salutations to you, sincere Aki, out there pushing this word of truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure to the end. Abba Ball,
Abba Ball.
Kwam Yasharala,
Kwam Yasharala.
Shalom.
Shalom.